Hey, what's going on, guys? Aaron here. Welcome to the video. So some really important news is happening right now, and I want to play a couple videos for you talking about what's going on and a little bit about what's going on with the CFTC, talking about sovereign funds buying Bitcoin, which is pretty huge, and some other updates as well. Also, I want to touch on why you should not fight the Fed, what that means, some more ETFs, and finally, the CFTC has authorized spot Bitcoin and crypto trading, basically what this means. So there's a heck of a lot going on right now. But before I dive into all those stories, just a couple of things. So obviously, I'm not your financial advisor or anybody's financial advisor. Crypto moves fast and nothing I say is a guarantee. What I share are just my personal thoughts. Also, some links support the channel if you use them. And lastly, I'll never contact you for investments or anything else like that. So diving in right now, Bitcoin kind of chilling around 92K. ETH is also around 3,100 bucks. Not too much movement there. But what I want to talk about are a couple really cool stories that came out over the last day or two. There's this big event, this Binance event. I believe it's in the Middle East. And yeah, let's take a look. So the first one right here, Larry Fink, he's basically saying that sovereign funds are buying Bitcoin.
But I can tell you there are a number of sovereign funds that are standing by. They're adding incrementally at 120, at 100. I know they bought more in the 80s. Right. That's fine. And they're establishing a longer position. And you own it over years. This is not a trade.
So yeah, we're getting Larry Fink, very important guy, very influential guy, saying that sovereign funds are buying at 120. They're buying at 100K, they're buying at 80K, and they are in it for the long run. They are not in it for a quick trade. And it's interesting how many people are in Bitcoin for this very quick trade, but the big money, the smart money, the people, the institutions that have hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars, they're in the space for the long run. Taking a look right here, this is really important. Michael Saylor talking about how all the big banks are basically supporters now.
What we've seen is BNY Mellon, PNC Bank, Citibank, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Vanguard, all of these have flipped from a hostile, negative, or skeptical view to a positive view in the last 12 months.
Yeah, so just to pause there, it's huge, right? I've been covering this. He just lays it out. Saylor just lays it out. All these institutions, all these banks that were saying, you know, Bitcoin is crap, Bitcoin is for scammers, right? Everything you can think of, they're now all on board. And I think a lot of it is just because they can make a heck of a lot of fees. Like I shared in my video yesterday, I think IBIT makes over $250 million a year, right? It's crazy.
Schwab is going to custody Bitcoin and extend credit against crypto assets early next year. Citi is doing the same thing. It used to be, you know, I couldn't get a loan against Bitcoin from any major bank. And now, if I counted the top 10 banks in the United States, eight of them are actually engaged in crypto lending. And they've all flipped their stance in the last 6 months.
So to my knowledge, you can't get a loan at these big banks using Bitcoin as collateral yet. Obviously, this will be rolling out soon, but that does lead me to talk about the sponsor of today's video, which is a company that does allow you to take loans against your Bitcoin. It's Figure Markets. Let's take a look. We've seen a lot of platforms talk about bridging traditional finance and crypto, but Figure is actually doing it. They're the largest non-bank mortgage lender in the US, with over $16 billion unlocked on their lending platform. And now they're offering Bitcoin, ETH, and SOL-backed loans with some of the lowest fixed rates I've seen. Just 8.91% at 50% LTV. They use decentralized MPC custody as well, which means your Bitcoin, ETH, and SOL stay safe with multiple key shards to protect you from single entity custody failure. Whether you're funding a new purchase like a down payment on a home, investing in new opportunities, or even buying more Bitcoin, Figure makes it transparent and straightforward. Visit their app or click my link below to take out a Bitcoin-backed loan with Figure today. So right now, again, we can't go to JP Morgan and say, I have a Bitcoin, I want to give you my Bitcoin for a loan. That's not here yet. nor can you do that at Wells Fargo or Bank of America or Vanguard, but it will be rolling out soon. Right here, I want to talk about this, very important. The CFTC just opened the door for government-regulated spot crypto trading.
Crypto goes mainstream. The Commodities Futures Trading Commission announcing the launch of the first government-supervised crypto trading platform. It allows Americans to instantly buy, sell, and finance digital assets. Fox Business's Darren Botello live in Washington with all the details. Darren, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning, Maria. Of course, right now, as we all know, you can buy and sell crypto online already, but this is the first time, like you said, a spot trading platform is getting the full backing of the federal government. So why does this even matter to investors that the CFTC is backing this new Bitnomial platform? These other platforms are legally operating, but here's the catch, Maria. They're often called the Wild West. Basically, it's buyer beware. We've seen this with the collapse of FTX and customers eventually losing out on huge profits they would have had. Their money stayed safe in the market, they would have had it. Now with this Bitnomial platform, there are stricter standards for transparency, security, and consumer protection to prevent an FTX-style collapse.
Yeah, to be fair, I've never heard of Bitnomial, and I don't think anybody else has either. But it is cool that they're getting involved, right? Even what happened on October 10th, that massive deleveraging event, a lot of what people are talking about had to do with just bad software, things that should have been prevented, ironically, if there was more oversight by an agency like the CFTC.
We spoke exclusively with acting CFTC Chairman Caroline Pham ahead of this new platform going live.
Not only do we want Americans to come back home and to be trading here, where they know that they have the protections that they deserve. But again, that means that American companies that are involved in the crypto industry, they're going to want to build here. They're going to want to invest here. They're going to want to hire here. So this is overall a net benefit to the economy.
Yeah, so this is bigger than I think most people think, right? Because we're getting a CFTC approved trading platform, exchange, whatever you want to call it, that is going to allow more capital into the space that was otherwise maybe too nervous because of things like FTX, because of platforms like Celsius, like BlockFi, like Voyager, right? So, for a lot of Bitcoin lovers, or I should say, original people in Bitcoin, they hate this because they don't want government involvement. Nonetheless, I believe it is good for the space. So really quick, right here, Tom Lee, 4-year cycle is over. Let's take a look.
I think crypto prices have bottomed. And I think that in the next 8 weeks, we're going to shatter the Bitcoin 4-year cycle. I don't think it's going to be a 4-year cycle.
So, who knows what's going to happen? Tom Lee is just sharing his own personal opinions, obviously, as am I, right? But we will see what happens. I think there is a high likelihood, especially with everything I'm talking about here, everything I've talked about over the last couple of days and weeks, that the normal 4-year cycle pattern may not happen. If it does happen, then, the bottom could be a year from October, which I've talked about a lot. Essentially, 1 year after the high is usually the bottom of the bear market. So, like I always say, prepare for the worst, hope for the best, prepare for all outcomes. It's really the only way to stay sane in crypto is just to prepare for everything here. Right here from James Lavish. One of the first pieces of investment advice I was ever given on Wall Street was don't fight the Fed. Many years and a few painful lessons later, I learned what that really meant was don't fight the Treasury. This is a picture of the US public debt reaches a record $38 trillion in October 2025. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Obviously, the debt has been increasing rapidly. This chart going back to 95. But really since like 2008, right, the global financial crisis, we've seen a massive increase in the debt. So let me know what you think in the comments. Is he right? Should you not fight the Fed? Or do you think there could still be a massive recession-like event like we saw in 2008, even though we keep hitting higher and higher numbers here? Real quick here from Eric Balchunas, we have 21 shares launching a 2x SUI ETF, the first SUI ETF. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, he thinks that we're going to see more of these ETFs. This is the 74th crypto ETF launched this year. That's a lot of ETFs, guys, and 128th overall. We expect another 80 in the next year. That's a lot of ETFs. That's a lot of people trading. And it is what it is, right? That's one of the reasons that crypto is so volatile. You can take leverage, especially, these ETFs here, but a 2x is relatively, or actually very modest. If you head over to other places, you can certainly do a lot more than a 2x, but nonetheless, this is what's going on. And before I go, guys, Tangem and also Ledger are still offering their Black Friday sales. And sorry to shill. A lot of you guys in the comments are like, Aaron, shilling. Well, I'm letting you know how to get things that I use for a discount because they're on sale. So if you call that shilling, then so be it. Also, Tangem is awesome as well, and they are massively on sale. The 3-card set is $62.91. So if you are thinking about it, now's a good time to dive in. Also, Trezor as well, but they aren't having any sales, but you can still grab one using my affiliate link below. So guys, that is it for the video. Sharing these videos with you because there's so much going on in the background, even though the price is boring, even though the prices are down. Sentiment is low. People are upset. People are pissed off. I get it. 2025 was not the year anybody thought was going to happen. But essentially, as Michael Saylor said, all of these banks are now coming on board as supporters. We are getting the CFTC involved, which is a good thing to get more capital in the space where people feel they are safe or they're safe to invest and buy crypto. And also, if you want to check out Figure and what they have going on, I'll leave the link to that below. I hope you guys are doing as well as humanly possible. Till next time, talk with you soon, and bye for now.